Hi, I'm Jose Hernandez here at CSM Fitness USA. And on a day-to-day basis, what I actually do is a lot of consulting with clients about their gym spaces. But, we do 3D renderings and layouts. We do measurements for a lot of people. We do a lot of gym moves, installations, you name it, all things gym equipment. Now, that being said, today is a little bit different. Today, I'm actually going to be working on my personal gym. Long story made short, I have a home gym in my garage. We had some construction going on this winter, and the construction crew basically said we need to be able to use an indoor space because it's so freaking cold outside. So I can't blame them, and had a choice to make. So we had to basically empty out our garage and give them the space they needed. And yeah, so we did that, and here you go. Now I have to join a gym. As I joined the gym, I realized that the gym that I actually joined was freaking horrible. I could get into that at a later date, but I really felt like working out at home was just a better option for me based on the gyms that I have that are local to me. I have a Planet Fitness and a couple of gyms I will not name, but those gyms are just not for me, or they're too far. They're good, there's some better gyms out there, but they're just too far for me. But that brings me to where I am today. I figured that this would be a good opportunity for people to actually see what I do, just from the perspective of somebody who's actually building out a gym space. Now, just because this is a small garage doesn't mean that the rules change at all. It's still a gym space that you have to treat like it's a full commercial gym, or a space that you actually want to work out in. So I'm gonna bring you guys along to this journey of mine of putting the gym together. We'll pick some equipment out, we'll do some measurements, we'll do some 3D renderings, and we'll see what comes out on the other end. So I hope you enjoy. Let's get into it. As you can tell, it is an absolute mess what I got going on here. I didn't want to really bother you guys with the actual boredom of actually driving over there. So I took a drive, obviously, and turned around and did some measurements just like I would typically do. And I'm going to just get a 3D rendering going to see what that's going to look like. Okay, so usually when I start these things, I actually just start with a total box of the unit, of the space, kind of like you see here. This is an actual drawing of my garage and the size of it. This is the garage door, this big white spot right there, which is kind of annoying that it's in the way, but we kind of have to have it just because it kind of is a part of the garage. So here, so we're trying to keep it a lot basic. Before we had a leg press, a leg extension, a leg curl. We had a bigger set of dumbbells. And I think that what it was doing was actually creating a little bit of a tighter space. It still fit and it was still functional, but my wife wants to be able to use the gym a lot more. She's actually leaving her gym just because not because the gym is bad, just because she can't really get to that location. She's a traveling salesperson, so she's always on the road. The best time for her to work out is actually at home. But anyway, back to this. So she wanted a piece of cardio in there. We do sell Spirit treadmills here, so there is some fold-up options that they have. So we're not heavy runners, so we're gonna put a fold-up treadmill in our space just so that it gives it a little bit extra room from whenever the treadmill is in there. And then obviously we're gonna switch things around. Before we had a huge dumbbell rack right here on the right-hand side. Now what we're gonna do is we're just gonna leave that all open because we might put some accessories, stuff against the walls. We're not 100% sure yet. Obviously, you guys are coming along with us to the through the voyage of getting this done. We got 2 dumbbell racks. So here we're gonna do the 5 to 25 on here. Actually, it's gonna have some increment weights too, like 7.5s and like 12.5s and stuff. This stuff my wife uses. And then for dumbbells, we're gonna be using what are called Squarebells. I believe I talked about it in the channel before, but they're a really cool set of dumbbells and I'm kind of excited to get them. Now, this is what we used to have. It was a universal trainer, but I'm actually gonna be exploring different options of racks, and I think I already have one picked out, which we'll actually end up talking about. But for right now, this is all I've got. Obviously, it's just a blank slate, rubber floor, rack, bench, some dumbbells, and a treadmill. But as we go further down the line here with the project, we'll add and take away. All right, so here I am. I'm back at the office, and I'm ready to actually start picking out some equipment and start seeing what I'm actually gonna do. This is the part where everybody loves, picking out the equipment. Obviously, I'm gonna go to CSM Fitness USA for starters for whatever products I actually want or need. So first of all, with the dumbbells, I'm definitely gonna go with Squarebells. Let's see here. Definitely going with a set of Squarebells. Ooh, what's going on here? Got a broken link. Ooh, someone needs to tell me about that. What's going on here? Oh, no, there it is. All right, cool. So, yeah, so the Squarebells are great. The reason I'm really going with these, honestly, is because it has multi-grip and they're different. So I wanted something a little bit different than I already have. This time, I think I'm only going to go up to maybe 55 pounds for starters. And if I want to add some more, I'll add some more down the line. But for right now, I think 55 pounds is more than plenty for what I'm doing at home. As far as cardio equipment, I think I'm going to go with an XT 185. This is, what is going on here? Super weird. This is a super inexpensive treadmill. This is their, 185. It only inclines up to 15 degrees, this one. It's got a small horsepower motor. I'm not too heavy. My wife's not heavy at all. Max user weighs 275 pounds. I weigh 200 pounds. That's more than fine. I'm sorry, the incline's only up to 10, which that's more than what I need. And really the only reason we're putting this in the gym is because my wife wants a piece of cardio for the winter, and I am tired of hearing her tell me she wants a piece of cardio for the winter. And you got to comply. You want a happy wife, right? So we do that. So that's that. I think, what else? And then what I'm looking at is possibly, I'm going to open up a new tab here, Bolt. So Bolt Fitness and I have been working on a lot of stuff here in the background, and I've been able to sell, based on their quality and what they're actually selling, some pretty cool stuff. So I've actually been scoping out their Apex series rack, which is kind of like their Mac Daddy, but they actually did some upgrades to it. You see these arms right here? They're actually articulating arms now. They kind of wave in angles, which is pretty neat. Everything else about the rack is pretty much the same. The only difference is those handles are basically not 360, but I want to say they're 180. They go like this, like in an L, which is a pretty good feature. Another thing that I like about this rack, which the universal rack really didn't have, was the universal rack from BodyCore. When I did a lat pull down, my arms are too long. I'm just too tall for that rack. And that causes me, when I'm doing a pull down, I'm pulling down from a lot lower, and I'm really not getting the full exercise in there. So I just decided, not to go with that unit, especially if I wanted to do back. And this, the lat pull down is really good. I've tried it out. Their low row is very nice. Attachment is very nice with that. Plus, I have all the extra rack storage for accessories, and I'm gonna actually order it with a couple of extra rack storage for accessories, and I'm gonna actually order it with a couple of extra shelves in order to store away some stuff that's just laying around. I don't know what rack this is, but it's not their Apex rack. I don't know what rack this is, but it's not their Apex rack. I should probably tell them they should. So besides that, I'm really kind of at a loss as to what I should add next. I mean, obviously a bench, obviously, possibly a leg extension, leg curl. I'm really debating it. I don't know if I want to be able to take up the space, so I really won't know till everything's in there. So what the first phase of this is going to be, I'm actually going to get the equipment in the garage, at least these pieces, so I can see what they feel like, because I know I want these pieces. And then from there, I'm going to start adding to it. I'm going to start fixing the aesthetic of the gym, and and I think that'd be pretty cool. So let's see how that goes on the next one. So we're back. It's been a couple of weeks since I ordered the equipment. The guys actually went out there, they installed all the equipment in the house, so it's all built and ready to go. The reason I didn't post that is just because I didn't want to make this a part of the video, just because it's very cumbersome, it's messy, it's a small area. I really didn't want to get in the guys' way, especially because right now it is pretty hot out here in New England. Now, the good thing about the gym is that the main pieces are in. Now, there are maybe some pieces that I want to put in there, but we'll get there when, you know, once my wife takes a good feel for it and, you know, she gets a couple of workouts in there, then we'll kind of determine what else we need, because this gym is not just for me, it's for my family. So it's a little bit different than if I was just building it for myself. Now, the second thing is that none of the aesthetics actually done. So I haven't painted, I haven't done any of the decorations and the things that might make it feel like a little bit of a better gym. I was kind of waiting for my wife to kind of give me that input. I'm not the biggest decorator, but I have some ideas and I didn't want to make it look too much like a guy gym. So I kind of stayed away from it. But we could actually take a look at the bones, and I think that's actually a good thing to do, because you actually see the equipment in there as is. And then once we're done, like kind of like building it out, then you get a real idea as to what this space will actually feel like. There's still a couple of finishing touches. We need I want to put an air conditioner in there with a heater, because it is a garage and it gets super cold out here. So that's another step down the line. And yeah, so let's take a quick drive over there and see what it looks like, and let's go. All right, so obviously I'm here at the gym, and from the looks of it, it doesn't look like much. It doesn't look like I did much of anything. It looks like I just threw a rack in here, dumbbells, and a treadmill. But really what I'm trying to do here is I'm trying to help people understand that building out a space is something that could take time, even for a guy that's me, like a total professional that's been doing this for 24 years. That being said, let's get into the gym itself. So for right now, what we have going on is this bolt rack, which is basically the lion's share of what's in here right now. Obviously it takes up the most amount of space, but it's also the most flexible piece of equipment that I have. And with a small space, that's exactly what we should be looking for, is something that's super versatile and that doesn't take up all your space, but does it as best as possible as far as space saving goes. Following with that, it's like I originally mentioned, I went with the Squarebells. Small Spirit treadmill. My wife wanted a pair of Hex dumbbells, so I got those in there for her. And that is it for right now. We laid down the floor. I got some accessories. You know, not very much right now. So this is basically phase one. With phase one, it's more about getting the lion's share of the equipment in here. And now the next thing that I'm going to do is actually get some storage. More like stuff to hang stuff up with. So I'm going to be hanging up the spotter arms, the J hooks, my bars, just get all that stuff up off the ground so it doesn't look messy. That's going to be a big thing. And then another thing is too, where I'm going to start really thinking about the aesthetic. If you actually look at this place, you're going to be able to notice that it's not the most welcoming, you know, you would call like garage. So it's going to take a little bit of TLC in order to get this place looking the way that I want it to look, which is like a modern, cool, very hip gym you want to work out at, but in a small area. Now, it is hot as hell in here. It's raining outside right now, and it's probably 90 degrees out. So it's really not helping. And I could really tell that this place is going to, I mean, I've worked out in here before, but to make it more comfortable and more seasonable, I think I am going to get like a mini split unit. Put it probably one of these two walls right here in order to cool and heat the place. So that's another project that I'm gonna be doing down the line. And yeah, so that's it. So let's just take a little walk around to see what we have going on. So with the bolt rack, what we actually have is a couple of different settings, which I like. This is at its tallest. So basically you have the ability to actually drop it down if you don't want to have it too tall. So right now, this is the tallest that it goes. It's about 100 inches from what we counted, and that's actually perfect for us. Now, as far as lighting goes, we have this bulb up here. It is pretty bright, but what we're gonna end up doing with this is one of these hex lights. It's kind of like one of those things that everybody does. But I think what we're gonna end up doing is actually dropping it down to one of these beams right here. And then we're gonna paint the ceiling black overall all the way around, I think, in order to get this place looking just kind of uniform for starters. Another thing I think we're gonna do is obviously we gotta find some colors that make sense for the room itself. It's kind of dark, so we want lots of light and we want lots of accent colors, if you're asking me. Another thing is too, the backside behind the bolt machine. I think what we're gonna end up doing is not blacking out the wall, but putting up one of those patterned walls right behind it, or maybe even wallpaper. So we'll get there when we get there. So that's probably gonna be one of the first things we're gonna do, because once we pick up that wallpaper, we'll know what color scheme we're gonna go with. Obviously, we gotta paint this cinder block here. And you see all the mess that we have going on here. This is stuff that has to come up off the ground. And we're gonna accomplish that, I think, by just, you know, looking online, seeing what's available in order to get this stuff picked up and off the ground. Got the hex bar there, same situation there. We also have our zip bar attachment, fat bar, which I love. So that stuff stays, obviously. And yeah, so another cool thing about this rack, lap pull down, I think I mentioned it, and you got your low row, and you have your moving arms, which I believe I spoke about before. They move up and down, and they also move side to side, which is actually really, really cool if you ask me. So, which I actually love that feature of this rack. Another cool thing, like I think I mentioned before, has all your storage, including I actually ordered some shelving for the bottom of the rack in order to get, again, more stuff off the ground. So the whole idea behind this build for the gym is going to be for like sleekness, I should say. I want it to look sleek. So a lot of this stuff's got to go away. So this is one of the first things we're going to do. So all this stuff's got to go away. Oh, look, my little tiny door. Yeah, I don't know who made that door, but it's tiny. I don't know who came up with that idea, but Squarebells, like I had mentioned before, great set there. Tag rack, it fits them. And we have our treadmill here. Again, like I said before, the greatest part about this treadmill is that it folds up and it will hold us in our weight capacity. So it's actually pretty cool. So another thing that we're going to do down the line actually is going to be to replace this garage door. It's going to be a garage door with all glass. So we have kind of like a window there, which will be pretty cool. And then we got to figure out whether we're going to put the AC unit here or there. It's probably going to end up on this side. And then we need some mirrors, obviously. So maybe we'll put mirrors against this wall right here, or I don't know. So we'll go from there. But anyway, I just thought I'd give an update about what we got going on here. Let's see here if I could do it like this. So I figured what I could do is actually give you guys an update as to what I'm doing here before I got any further and actually ended up painting the place. I really wanted you guys to see the process and what it takes in order to actually do this. Wow, this gimbal's pretty heavy. But yeah, so there you go. So I hope you guys like this episode. I'm going to keep going with these. I'm going to, you know, a little bit longer, a little bit more detailed, a little bit more about what we do on a day-to-day. And yeah, so the next phase of this one is going to be to actually get this place decorated, get the place painted. The door is probably going to be the last thing. And then from there, we don't know what we'll go for. So we'll see what my wife's reaction is when she first gets here. But till then, I am out. Peace.